City Commission meeting to order June 7th, 2016. I'm going to ask the clerk to do a roll call vote.
Mayor Weissman.
Here.
Vice Mayor Landman. Here. Commissioner Cohen.
Here.
Commissioner Holtzberg.
Here.
Commissioner Narotsky.
Here.
Commissioner Shelley. Here. Commissioner Weinberg.
Here.
Mr. Soroka.
Here.
Mr. Wolpin. Here. You have a quorum.
Thank you so much. And tonight we're really honored for our Pledge of Allegiance and I believe the Star-Spangled Banner. We have a group of, did you get promoted yet? Is it? They're just
they got a couple more days.
Days away from being fourth graders. And they are the most amazing young people under the direction of Mr. Lakofsky, and I'm so happy you're here to accompany them today. I want to ask Daniela Soralde to come up, Naomi Husenman, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced, Julia Lima, Emmy Groen, Talia Mahleb, and Paulina Zapata. And before we start, I really want to thank your parents for bringing you and supporting you. Yeah, go ahead. So please lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Wonderful. I'm going to ask everyone to remain standing as you sing the national anthem. Listen to them sing. Listen. You're not going to do the Constitution song for us? Yeah. They don't need to rehearse. We can sit down.
Provide 3 branches of government, and today these rules still stand.
Again, I want to say they're third graders. They've been studying government, and I had the pleasure of hearing them, I guess, last week one day, and they're just terrific. Again, I want to thank your parents. I want to give a shout out to the ACES principal, Miss Julie for allowing us to have the pleasure of their company tonight, to their teachers who've worked so hard with them. Thank you all so much. Okay, I'm going to ask the city manager if there are any deletions or additions to the agenda.
We have no changes tonight.
All right, then I'm going to ask all of the commissioners to come down to the podium. We have a special presentation. We the people. Were they not cute?
I couldn't even say that.
This was made.
Okay, and let me ask our city manager to come here. You know, words don't describe how all of us feel about our city manager, Mr. Eric Soroka. This marks his 20th year of service, and this city has a rich history of celebrating years of service. Actually, he's been serving this area before the city was incorporated. No one knows Aventura better than Eric, so with that said, I want to present. Figure it out.
Very nice.
Oh my goodness.
Very nice. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's the one I picked out.
And a plaque says, in recognition of 20 years of leadership, dedication, and service to the city of Aventura as city manager.
Thank you so much.
No one does it better. Oh, Evan will take a picture.
Taking a picture in Aventura like
I guess.
Right.
you are.
Congratulations.
What would Andrew Goldstein?
Yeah, hold it like this.
You know he has a property in Central Florida. Thank you. That's pretty scary.
You don't put it like it.
I know. You kidding? Eric, your socks holder.
Exactly.
And in line with the presentation that we just did, I would also like to recognize the following recent promotions from our police department. Promoted from police officer to sergeant, Anna Howell. Anna Howell started as a police service aide, and last week she was promoted to sergeant. And Nelson Reyes, and we just have incredible law enforcement professionals. We also named the officers of the year, James Martin, Joseph Antello, and Ricardo Moreno. The following volunteers were recognized for their service to the police department: Vito Trippi, Irving Rosenkrantz, Bernard Gordon, Dolores Gordon, Bonnie Gitlin, Judy Pasternak, and Michelle Buraducci. So I just wanted to read their names into the record. I'm going to see where I am. Item 5, we have a resolution for public hearing, and I'm going to ask for a motion for approval of the resolution. Motion made by Commissioner Holtzberg. May I have a second? Second made by Commissioner Shelley. I'm going to ask the city manager to explain the resolution.
This is a conveyance of currently city-owned roads back to the Biscayne Lake Gardens condominium as they requested. As you recall, we discussed this at a workshop meeting, and what's propelling this is the fact that they want to put in security and make their condominium more secure. So by doing so, they'll be able to put up a guardhouse and have private roads within the area.
I'm going to open the item for public comment. Is there anyone from the public wishing to make a statement? It's not on. Mr. Soroka, do you want to read the title to us? Does the city attorney want to?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Resolution of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, approving with conditions a request to vacate a portion of the public rights-of-way of Northeast 29th Court, Northeast 201st Street Terrace, Northeast 27th Court, and a portion of the Northeast 203rd Street Frontage Road, legally described in the attached Exhibit A, authorizing the city manager to enter into a perpetual road maintenance agreement, reserving certain easements to the city, and providing for an effective date. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, so now I'm going to open the item for public comment. If there is any member of the public that wants to address this, when you come up, state your name and address. Seeing as there are none, I'm going to close the item for public comment. I'm going to ask if any member of the commission has any questions or comments. Seeing as there are none, I'm going to ask the clerk for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Cohen?
Yes.
Commissioner Holtzberg?
Yes.
Commissioner Narotsky?
Yes.
Commissioner Shelley? Commissioner Weinberg?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landman?
Yes.
Mayor Weissman?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. I'm now going to ask if a member of the commission wants to remove any item from the consent agenda. Seeing as there are none, I'm going to ask for a motion for the approval of the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Cohen,
Second.
seconded by Vice Mayor Landman. I'm going to ask the clerk for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Cohen?
Yes.
Commissioner Holtzberg?
Yes.
Commissioner Narotsky?
Yes.
Commissioner Shelley? Commissioner Weinberg?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landman?
Yes.
Mayor Weissman?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. We have no zoning hearings today, and we have no ordinances for first reading. So we do have one ordinance for second reading, and I'm going to ask the city attorney to read the ordinance to be considered for second reading.
Thank you, Mayor. An ordinance of the City of Aventura, Florida, amending the city code by amending Chapter 30, Environment, by creating Article 8, Drone Regulations and Privacy Protections, by creating Section 3210, Drone Restrictions at Public Gatherings, to regulate and restrict drone use in and over outdoor public gatherings, and by creating Section 3211, Protection of Privacy from Drone Use, to provide for a code enforcement mechanism concerning any use of a drone that violates individual privacy as protected by Section 934.50 Florida statutes, providing for applicability, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in code, providing for penalty, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. I'm going to ask for a motion for approval of this ordinance on second reading. Motion made by Commissioner Holtzberg, seconded by Commissioner Weinberg. I'm going to ask the city attorney to review.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the ordinance that the Commission discussed in a workshop and then subsequently at first reading. It has two primary components. One, it prohibits flying a drone over a gathering of more than 50 people, for example, at fairs in the city, festival, outdoor movie exhibits, and similar public gatherings in order to protect the public safety. Those public gatherings must be those that are listed on the city website so that any drone user would have fair notice of the location and the time and date of the public gathering for which the drone overflights are prohibited for safety reasons. The second component of the ordinance is that the surveillance conduct by drones is restricted in order to protect the privacy rights of individuals, and that uses the provisions of Section 934.50 Florida statutes. That statute gives people the right to file a civil suit and go to court if a drone is used in such a way that it spies on them or their property in an unlawful manner and invades their right of privacy. Instead of requiring people to file a civil suit, this ordinance offers the ability for the city to utilize its special magistrate code enforcement provisions to protect individual privacy in the case of any violation of privacy of a person or property. Another component of the ordinance is that it allows the city manager to look into the research, the ability to obtain technology that would help to neutralize unlawful drone activities and operations, as things are now being developed whereby certain techniques or systems could be used to disable a drone that is found to be creating a public safety problem. Any of those systems would not be implemented without first bringing them back to the City Commission. At the time of the second reading, it was agreed that we would seek to get the input of the Federal Aviation Administration on the proposed drone ordinance. The FAA responded to our letter by advising that although they cannot concur with restrictions that go into the area of restricting flights, they do state that, quote, the city of Aventura is free to pursue UAS legislation, end quote. UAS is a word that means drones. It's a same as the unmanned aircraft systems. So while the FAA did not endorse our proposed ordinance, they did not object to it. If the FAA had said, do not adopt this ordinance, then we would recommend that it not be adopted. However, the FAA didn't say that because it's obvious they realize that there's a problem throughout the country with drone operations that invade privacy and interfere with public safety. So I feel that the City Commission, within its policy jurisdiction, has the ability to adopt and move ahead with this ordinance, although we'll be working very closely with the police department to make sure that it's enforced in a very careful and fair manner.
Thank you. The item is open for public comment. Is there anyone that wishes to address this item? Okay, I'm going to close the item for public comment, and I'm going to ask if any of the commissioners have any questions or comments. All right, we discussed this for many, many months, and I think we're kind of very well informed on it, and we want to thank our attorney for doing all the diligent work that he did. I'm going to ask the clerk for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Cohen?
Yes.
Commissioner Holtzberg?
Yes.
Commissioner Narodsky?
Yes.
Commissioner Shelley? Yes. Commissioner Weinberg?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landman?
Yes.
Mayor Weissman?
Yes.
The motion passes on second and final reading.
Okay. Next, reports. Do any of the commissioners have any items or any reports they wish to present? Vice Mayor Landman?
Yes. We have a grown-up movie night coming up at the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center. It's June 25th at 8 p.m. Do we know, City Manager, do we know what movie we're playing?
The Revenant?
I don't think that was it.
Yeah, I think it's The Revenant.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Okay. Any other reports or comments, Commissioner?
Yes, I have
Yes.
something.
Commissioner Holtzberg.
Yes, this is about the bicycle sharing system. I was sort of sitting on this fence so that I really wasn't certain, but I took a trip by car from Florida to North Carolina, and we passed through, of course, Georgia and South Carolina. I've seen so many of them, and it was wonderful. I thought it was a great idea, and I certainly hope it works out here in Aventura. But people are using it throughout the country. I just wanted everyone to know. I was really very pleased.
The people sitting here might not know that we're embarking upon a bicycle ride-sharing program. Will there be stations located throughout the city, and you can pick up the bike, and then when you get to where you want to go, you can drop the bike goes right into the locked gate. So, yeah, very good. Commissioner Weinberg?
Thanks, Mayor. Just a comment in light of the 20-year award that we gave to the manager. There's been in ongoing investigations, there's been some tragedies in neighboring communities. Things are not so good financially in other cities that are located in our same county. And I was at an event, the Women's Breast and Heart Initiative Gala, and the MC is a well-known news anchor locally, and he said to me, "We never cover any stories from Aventura," and that was really the highest compliment we could possibly be paid, to not be in the news. And you know, it starts at the top. Most of these municipalities are strong manager form of government, and so it's really a credit to the manager, although I would like to take credit. In reality, you know where it belongs.
Thank you. Anyone? Okay, I'm going to open the meeting for public comments. Do any members of the public have any comments at all? In general, anything. You can come up and address us with anything you'd like. Yeah. If you want to talk, it's going to be now, because I'm going to adjourn the meeting next. Please state your name and address.
Yes, my name is Alfred Santamaria. I live in 12420 Southwest 94th Lane. And the reason I'm here is because my great friends, 3 of them live here in the city of Aventura, and they've kindly wanted me to come and address this wonderful board. Honorable Mayor and Commissioners, as I said, my name is Alfred Santamaria, and I'm delighted to be here and take a minute and introduce myself. I do truly admire the city of Aventura, and I think the slogan goes perfect, the city of excellence. And congratulations, city manager, for 20 years of service. A lot of you might not have ever heard of my name, Santamaria, which is, but I am one of the candidates for county mayor. And I have a strong base happening here in the city of Aventura. I am betting in this electoral process to the 90% of the electoral voters that don't know that there is an election happening August 30th. So as we know, August 30th is election time for county mayor. And our mayor 4 years ago won with 4% of the population and 10% of the registered voters. So there's a large population that I'm shooting forward. And hopefully, if I win August 30th, I look forward to working close with you all. I think it's one county, it's 35 municipalities, but there has to be more working closer than together. So I just wanted to kind of introduce myself and say that I'm delighted and really happy to see the great work and commitment you guys have with your constituents. And I look forward to working close with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I don't know if there are any questions for me or... Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Cohen, second.
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Landman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.